What happens when a real historical event is reimagined through a dark fantasy, fast-paced action, and a constant fight against time? That is the concept behind Hell Clock Curse War, a game that takes inspiration from history and mixes it with roguelike gameplay, action RPG elements, and a supernatural world filled with danger. From the moment you start playing, the game makes it clear that time is your biggest enemy. Every decision matters, every fight has consequences, and every run requires you to balance risk with reward. Whether you are searching for better equipment, taking on stronger enemies, or trying to push further into the unknown, the game constantly challenges you to think quickly. After spending time with Hell Clock Curse Wars, what stood out the most was how the game brings together its story, combat, and progression systems to create a unique experience. So with that being said, let's break it down. The story of Hell Clock Curse Wars is one of the most interesting parts of the game because it takes a real historical event and reimagines it into a dark supernatural journey. The game is set in a distorted version of the 1890s Northeast Brazil inspired by the Canudos War. You take control of Paju, a survivor who finds himself entering a nightmare world after losing everything he knew. Armed with a mysterious pocket watch known as the Hell Clock, Paju begins a journey into the depths of hell to search for the lost souls of his people and uncover the truth behind the events that led to their destruction. The Hell Clock is more than just a gameplay mechanic. It represents Paju's last hope and his desire to change the fate of those who were lost. Its power over time becomes both a gift and a burden as he fights through a world filled with corruption, monsters, and supernatural threats. What makes the story unique is the way it combines history with dark fantasy. Instead of following a standard historical approach, Hellclock creates its own version of events where the tragedy of the past has created a world filled with chaos and darkness. As you progress through the game, you discover more about the people connected to the conflict, the forces controlling the hellish world, and the mysteries surrounding Persia's journey. The story provides a strong foundation for the gameplay because every run feels like it has a purpose. You are not just fighting for better weapons or stronger abilities. You are pushing forward to uncover the truth and complete a mission that has personal meaning. The overall presentation of Hell Clock Curse Wars is one of the biggest strengths. The game features a beautiful dark fantasy style that combines hand-drawn characters designs with detailed environments to create a world that feels both unique and memorable. The visual designs does a great job of mixing beauty with darkness. Some areas feel mysterious and almost peaceful, while others feel like a descent into complete chaos. The atmosphere helps make each location feel like a dangerous place where something unknown could be waiting around the corner. Paju's character development is also represented through the visuals. As you collect new equipment and become more powerful, his appearance changes reflect his progression from a survivor into a warrior prepared to face the threats ahead. The sound design is another area where the game performs well. Weapon attacks have a strong impact, enemy sounds create tension, and the ambient audio helps build a dark atmosphere throughout the world. The music is one of the highlights of the experience. It blends Brazilian musical influences with dark fantasy sounds to create a soundtrack that feels different from other games in the genre. The music helps drive the action during combat while also adding emotion during story moments. On PC, Hellclock Curse Wars generally runs smooth at 60 frames per second. The controls feel responsive and the action moves at a fast pace. However, then the most chaotic moments with large groups of enemies, multiple effects, and heavy screen activity, I did notice some frame drops. The gameplay in Hellclock Curse Wars is a fast-paced top-down action RPG that combines roguelike structure with deep character customization. The main loop is built around entering dungeons in dangerous areas, defeating enemies, collecting resources, upgrading your character, and returning stronger for the next attempt. The most important gameplay feature is the Hell Clock itself. The timer creates constant pressure because you are always trying to make the most out of the time you have available. You have to decide whether to search for extra rewards or move forward before you run out of time. Stronger enemies and bosses can help extend your run, but taking them on also creates more risk. Combat is fast and requires constant movement. You have access to different weapons, special abilities, and attack options that allow you to create your own playstyle. Whether you prefer close range attacks, long range abilities, or a more different approach, the game gives you options to build a character that matches your style. The progression system is where the roguelike and RPG elements come together. Each run gives you the chance to find new equipment, unlock powerful blessings, and create different combinations that can change how you approach future challenges. The game also includes different modes to fit different players. Players who want the standard experience can use the normal mode, while those looking for a greater challenge can try hardcore mode. There is a lot of relaxed options that removes the timer and those who want to focus more on exploration. When everything works together, the game creates a satisfying loop where everything runs and it feels like an opportunity to improve and push further. While Hellclock Curse Wars has a lot of great ideas, there are some issues that prevent it from being a perfect experience. The biggest issue I had was with the timer system. While the Hellclock creates a unique challenge, it can sometimes make the game feel more like a race to deal damage as quickly as possible rather than a strategic experience. The pressure can be exciting, but it also can be limited on how much time you have to explore, experiment with builds, and enjoy the world around you. I also ran into some performance problems during the later sections of the game when the screen becomes filled with enemies, special effects, and damage numbers. I experienced some stuttering and frame drops that interrupted the flow of the combat. The control options could also use some improvement. While mouse and keyboard provides a good level of control, using the controller feels a little more limited when managing multiple abilities and equipment options. The loot system can also become overwhelming, having many different items and upgrades for customization, but sometimes it feels like there is too much time spent sorting through equipment instead of focusing on the action. Another issue is that some areas can start to feel repetitive after long play sessions. The atmosphere remains strong, but the level structure and enemy encounters can begin to feel familiar over time. Hellclock Curse War is a unique action roguelike that successfully combines history, dark fantasy, and fast-paced combat into one interesting package. The game's biggest strengths are its atmosphere, visual style, music, story concept, and addictive programming system. The Hellclock mechanic creates a constant sense of urgency that makes each run feel important. However, some balancing issues, performance problems, and repetitive elements keep it from reaching its full potential. Even with those issues, there is a lot to like here, and fans of action RPGs and roguelike games should find something enjoyable about this experience. For that, I give Hellclock Curse Wars a 3 out of 5. Thank you for tuning into the best place for independent gaming journalism, and that's the gamer section. Be sure to hit the like button on the video and please subscribe to the channel.